We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Is Uptober cancelled? Is it actually Rectober or something like that? Because recent events, they have influenced the Bitcoin price quite a bit. So, good morning everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the recent events, how they influence the Bitcoin price, if it changes anything in our bull market outlook. And of course, we also cannot neglect the bullish things that are happening in the crypto space for Bitcoin and altcoins, but also ultimately we're going to talk about what is happening around ECOMI and Veve. So make sure to stay tuned for all the content here. So, good morning, every one of you. Obviously, most of you are following the news, know what's going on at the moment, what is pressing on the price, and I see a couple of people are already in here, so I want to ask you first of all to smash up the like button for the almost daily Crypto Morning Coffee Show here, and I see a couple of people are already here. We have Trucking Hank in the house, GMPH, and also we have Chris Klein saying, hello, I'm super happy I get to listen in again. In the US, and it's midnight here, just got off a little bit ago and super excited to listen in. So welcome, I hope it will be good. It will be so that you think it's worth listening in. If it's midnight, then obviously it's not coffee time, but hopefully you can still enjoy the show. And Jasper Frank's also here. Hey, what's going on? Welcome everyone, and let's talk about what is actually going on. And also let me know your opinion. I mean, Jasper, actually I have that one. That one is... that news that you were just talking about, I actually have that pulled up as well. So I'm going to go over almost everything big important that is happening at the moment. But let's see here. Let's see what's happening for the Bitcoin price. Again, please smash up the like button here for the stream, and let's jump into the action. So Bitcoin has dropped overall since we challenged here our upper resistance, 9%, almost 9% drawdown. In a very brief period of time, because this is a 4-hourly candle, so this is 2 days or something like that, right? And obviously, it first of all, it seems bearish, but if you consider what is actually going on, and you recognize that basically Bitcoin is only like retesting somewhere here for the moment, right? If we can recover from here quickly, usually the world gets used to new situations like that very, very quickly. What actually happened? Basically this here happened, right? So everyone has seen the pictures, but in case you didn't, here you see it. What is that? I would say supposedly, because with videos you never know exactly what you are seeing. I mean, there's nothing written on that, But supposedly Iranian ballistic missiles are impacting here Israel. And what we also can see, usually you have some sirens howling and sirens in this air, in sound in the air, and then you see the Iron Dome rockets going up and defending against whatever is coming in. And you don't see that in this video, right? So apparently the Iron Dome did either not react or was some things were destroyed. I saw some news that actually some supersonic missiles have hit the Iron Dome radars before, stuff like that, right? But overall, you have the situation of yesterday where Israeli forces entered Lebanon. Then you have the Iran shooting missiles into Israel. Then you have Putin telling Israel to move out of Iran. And you have the US helping defending missiles in Israel. That's the situation, right? Without any like bias or whatever. Like that's the situation that is unfolding at the moment. So obviously, people are freaking out when they're seeing this because this is some like World War III apocalyptical stuff. At least if you're not used to pictures of stuff like that every day, and this is not an everyday occurrence. However, as someone rightfully said, as long as we don't see the nuclear mushroom cloud in the sky, there's still a chance to turn things around, to go diplomatic ways. There's also like it's 1 month before the US elections where also maybe a new direction in this conflict can be brought in, right? But it is something that is suppressing the price. And whenever people are getting fearful, there is movements like this happening. And as for now, and I would take a different stance than other people that are doing TA. I would say that TA is fine until you hit a black swan or something like that, right? And then you can say, okay, we should bounce here, right? And we are still very strong. I mean, we're sitting at 61.5K with this situation that we just saw on the video unfolding, right? So that is, in my opinion, that's very strong because a while ago we would have lost like 10 or 15,000 on the price. So, and we also saw this a little bit in these candles that are here, that at every downswing where force came in and it moved down, we have big wicks on the bottom side indicating that all of these levels were bought heavily, right? Now, if there's a more escalation, then yes, then we could come down lower, then we would potentially come down to this support, or close to the support. Right now, it seems that there is a stronger move coming out back to the upside, and if this conflict would be leveling out, then and people get a little bit more. It's not even that the conflict has to stop; just the market has to have time to react to the to get used to the situation. That's the only thing that needs to be for stabilizing prices, right? It's like after a couple of days of Russia and Ukraine, you had the same situation. Like people got used to it, and now look at that. Like I mean, it's still the situation, but no one cares anymore. And Bitcoin is not that no one cares anymore for the lives and everything, but you know what I mean. Like in the financial context, no one cares anymore with price-wise. If there's something happening, like Russian troops invading this and that city, really, it doesn't have any price effect anymore, right? But just people got used to the situation. So we will see how it unfolds. But you also see, like in this bull flag, I mean, we just approached this upper resistance, and if we were to get used to the situation, I expect the price to move up here again to challenge that upper resistance once again. So overall, everything from a fundamental perspective is still intact. If we're looking at the weekly, that was a little bit too much zoomed out. That was not the idea. If we're looking at the weekly, we are still in this bull flag. We are still in the upper part of this bull flag. We have encountered resistance here on the weekly in this bull flag, support actually. resistance to the upside, support to the downside. We are bouncing off of it at the moment, as you can see from this candle, and even the weekly TSI is still going in the direction of a bull cross. So let's just hope that things are turning out positive here. Green Lantern says, GM boys driving now, like the stream if you prefer world peace. Yeah, exactly. This is in the end what I would also advocate for, because let's be honest, like no one, not soldiers, not anyone else can ever want a war situation, and so shouldn't we, right? Wherever we're sitting, you're sitting at your computer, you don't want to look out the window and see rockets flying into your country or whatever, or troops marching on the ground or moving in. That's horrible. Fear means DCA. Yeah, exactly. Fear means buy the fear. The question is at which level, at which rate, and so on, right? But the overall picture is this, and I think not much has changed. We're somewhat at the same levels of 2 weeks ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago we were lower than this. Also keep that in mind. Just in case that you wonder, now the monthly TSI, which indicates if we're a bull in a bear market, is closing in a little bit. What you want to see here is a decisive pump throughout the October to have our bull run last long. Yeah, so I think this will still happen, although it could take a couple of days longer. But yeah, let's see what else is happening. So we got a little bit of economic data also that also doesn't really help. We have all the ISM manufacturing, the PMI, the prices and the employment all missed forecasts. So they're weaker than before. Construction spending also miss. So these are a little bit more bearish here, yeah, than it was expected. Not by much. You see construction spending expected and actual. And then, yeah, you see it's not too far off, but it is a miss. The only thing that is not a miss is the job openings. Actually, they beat expectations, which is good because it's the most important of the factors that were coming out. So job openings being higher than actually expected is a good thing if you want to achieve a soft landing. So that is good news. And then obviously what really is, I think, more important than many people know is this: 50,000 port workers across the United States have gone on a strike for the first time since 1977. Obviously for better conditions, better salary, and so on. No work without a fair contract, blah, blah, blah. And although I understand the claim, we have to look at the economic impact that this has. And if such ports go on a week-long strike or even more, I think it will be at least a week, that has severe impact on global supply chains. We saw it before during the sea crisis, with Shenzhen port and so on, and other ports. There were severe rippling effects through the supply chains. So this is no joke, right? On the other hand, I saw a video yesterday, I didn't pull it up, but I saw a video yesterday of like autonomous vehicles at Chinese airports driving containers around with just one or two person sitting in a control tower playing with a joystick. So whatever is happening, also port workers might, at least some of them, might be replaced by robots, AI, and vehicles very, very soon, right? So it's always, of course, you have to stand in for your rights, but it's also a thin line to find where you don't get, where people don't say, okay, afterwards, hey, we can't afford this, we need robots here. But also we have put Patrick Bultman here. What's going on? Sven is here. Conker is here. Good morning. Bullet Slurp is here. I think that the strike will be solved sooner because of U.S. elections. Oh yeah. That is a very good point that you bring up here. I mean, a week is devastating, but they will solve the strike as soon as possible, as this is not an insignificant number of votes for whatever side, right? So we will see, but probably solved before the elections. And also, I'm not American, right? I cannot tell you what to vote for and whatnot, but the news are important and of a global scale. Then also, if you look at all of this and you're like wondering, so what the heck is going on? Bitcoin price is down, it doesn't break up, sideways since 7 months or something like that. Just remember that probably you're hodling since last bear market. You have survived hodling the Ukraine and Russia war. You have seen the fastest rate hike cycle in history, the lunar collapse, the Three Arrows capital collapse, the FTX collapse, the BlockFi collapse, the Celsius collapse, the banking crisis that actually marked our bottom. You remember, like Credit Suisse almost going out of business and bought by UBS and stuff like that. Binance FUD, like that Binance would be maybe going under. CZ went to prison. SEC suing Binance and Coinbase, and there was a time where we thought that maybe they are going to deem everything as security except Bitcoin, and it also didn't happen. The grayscale selling, the Germany selling, actually even the US moving capital and so on, and the longest bear market in history. And all of that has been survived already. Now we have one more. We have the escalation in the Middle East and port strikes. So I think you are here in already very good company. Most of you are veterans by now. Although you might be ridiculed as the investor at your family dinners, you have seen more and probably learned more than 99% of the world population, because also this all brought financial literacy to most people that were in this market, and a level of understanding of global markets and how they work and what really influences them and which events do and which events do not influence them, that I think we can be thankful for, even for the hard times, for the financial knowledge that we have right now that would have taken years more to build if we would have tried to learn it somewhere else in some other way, right? Patrick Bultman says that's still much easier than survive the Oktoberfest. Yeah, that's actually very true. Oktoberfest needs some very hard preparation. That is true. Also, we have actually September is the month of the biggest, or was the month of the biggest easing since March 20, which was the sea crisis easing. So look at how many rate cuts there were across the world. 21 cuts have been noted around the world. So that is the highest level since the pandemic. And you know what happened to the price in that specific time, right? The price just went nuclear. So hopefully only the price goes nuclear, right? So let's be honest here. But there's also positive news. So for example, this year there is Starbucks having a little bit of a payment here. Look at that. You have 12,000 sats here on the account. The guy pays his coffee here with Bitcoin, right? So Starbucks now accepting Bitcoin, probably all around the world. People claim that probably Starbucks is going to very soon accept that to avoid the 2.5% credit card transaction fees and inflation, right? It's not a bad move for companies to accept Bitcoin at the moment, as the prices are not the highest, and if they want to build a Bitcoin stockpile, then yeah. As Trucking Hank rightfully claims, hit the like button, folks. That is very important here. If you want to help the channel in any way, if you like what you're seeing, if you like what you're hearing, if you want this to continue, then please smash up the like button, because that's the only way that YouTube understands that what you're seeing here is good, and then it can push it out to more people, right? So otherwise, if you don't hit the like button, you're basically telling YouTube that it's not worth joining. John Jimbo says, hi, Patient Hodler, happy to see OMI go up when everything else is going down. That has been always the ECOMI syndrome, but we're going to talk about this as well. And unfortunately, on this note, on this drawdown, we have people moving into the dollar. So hence we are seeing the DXY finding again or reclaiming again the support that we were hoping that it would finally lose. So we are going to do an extra round here. Hopefully we put in a lower high here and then finally move it, right? But obviously for the DXY, devaluation is not only rate cuts and quantitative easing. There's also when people are fearful and they move out of stocks because such a situation, what do they sell their stocks for? For dollar. So basically the dollar demand rises suddenly because of such a situation, making the dollar value go up as the demand rises. So very natural movement. We will see how it turns out. But we want this to turn around and go down, meaning people spending their dollars, moving out of their dollars to go into riskier assets. And whenever there's a crisis situation like we have seen it, de-risking is kind of a mainstream investor playbook, right? So also we will, even without having looked, we will probably see it in the USDT dominance, Tether dominance as well. Yep, there you go. So what we were hoping for, that this would happen, is not happening. Instead, we have bounced heavily, so meaning people moving out of their risky coins, and also Bitcoin is considered a risky coin, and we see it bounce once more in this rising channel. So not ideal, but we could still go like this, right, and then drop. So what we want in the global scheme of things is USDT dominance collapsing out of this channel at some point, right? Takes longer than expected. I thought we would collapse here. We didn't. That is the reality. We didn't. It bounced. It was a possibility. How's gold doing on this crisis? Well, actually, gold is taking a breather. We will see how it continues, but apparently also even gold is, I don't know what people are saying, like even gold is going sideways now in this month of sideways-tober, down-tober, right? We want to turn it into Uptober, but it's only the 2nd of October today, so not really a problem just yet. We have many more days. With 29 more days to go, so a lot can happen in this time. Let's go and take a look at the market. And the market is, it must be really bad if FTT is the only token, so the FTX token the only token to go up, right? But everything else is down an average like 10% on the day. Some things are down 20% on the week. Meme coins, bonk, and stuff like that still up on the week, but they have lost a lot of their move, right? That is definitely happening. Let's also see how smaller coins are doing, probably down a little bit worse. Here we see like 30 and 20% down on the day. Yeah, the more you go down the list in the smaller caps, the harder they fall and bleed on such news. So we see here minus 10 to minus 15% average on the top 100 to 200 down. And then we see, except Mudang and however USTC, why is USTC up? Terra Classic USD is up 12%. Please don't, just don't touch these things. Sundog, minus 20%, and so on. So a lot of coins, shit coins, whatever, are down quite a bit on these news. But not ECOMI. Not ECOMI. So you remember yesterday when we talked about Let's go on the daily chart actually, because it's interesting to see. You remember yesterday when we talked about that, somehow we saw ECOMI reacting on the bottom of this wedge. Look at how exact it's reacting now with this wedge. So we have obviously news that we're going to talk about in a second, but ECOMI bounced here from the bottom of this wedge and moved all the way up here, threatening to break this wedge, but got heavily rejected on the upside. But we see a lot of like pushes to the upside as we get a little bit more volume here on the news that we have. And well, I would say it kind of gives us a little bit of a confirmation that the wedge that we drew in here is actually something to keep, right? So what we see here is a reaction and a price compression. Doesn't mean we can't go lower than we are right now, but it means that actually the structure seems to have some validity, right? Okay, so that is good. Also, a breakout and a close above this downtrend. So for now, the smaller downtrend is broken, but we still need to find, let's say, a sign of life in taking out this and reclaiming this resistance here at 00046. Also reclaiming at least on a daily time frame. I would like to see that. So you break out of your trend, you retest, you come back up, break out of this, retest, reclaim, challenge this, break out. This is what we want to see, right? So that we finally at some point can come up across this mega overhead resistance at 0005. This is long term what we want to see. We're not there yet. It's not, the news are not enough to be there. But what is the news? Let's talk about it. So Stacker or Stacker World has now opened buy and sell features to the public on beta level, featuring OMI to NFT trading, self-custody wallet for the OMI token, and sponsored gas fees. So since OMI is on Base, and that is the integrated Base version, you can now use your OMI on the Stacker marketplace to purchase collectibles. So here's a Medium article for that we can also look at. But I think so you can read how everything works. It's written by Dr. Profit. So you can read up on everything, like what a stacker, how to sign up, what you can buy, and so on, right? And then also about the Stacker wallet, how you can load up USDC, swap immediately, almost, I think, gas fee less, and then get your OMI, right? So that is very, very, very good. And there is a video here from Mitch, also how it looks. So we can look at that quickly. So here, loading the Kiwi stamp, where he wants to buy the Kiwi stamp for some OMIs. So he puts in the OMI. So you see how this is cool, because you see, if you put in a value, you see how much it is below the Veve floor, right? So you have you can see, okay, you have to put in X amount of OMI, and then you will be able to hit the, you will be able to hit the Veve floor. So yeah, then wait for confirmation. Here's the listing. So he's listed 11% under Veve floor, and yeah, that's it. Now you have your stamp here listed, right, for OMI, to get some OMI. So yeah, that's fine. Now there are also burns. I don't know. Also the ECOMI channel posted it, but there were some burns here also regarding the ECOMI. Let me just see. It was 2.9 million or so burned in 2 hours. Sorry, that is the wrong one. Let's go with the ECOMI. Just like that. I think we will find it in the feed as well. I didn't pull it up. Why didn't I pull it up? But like everything is full of memes about the ECOMI. Where's the burn? That is the brand power. I don't know. The burn hasn't been hyped so much. I mean, this is sorted by top, but someone has posted about the burn. I think it was Dr. P actually. I think it was Dr. P. Yeah, here we go. So he posted, Dr. Profit posted about this. We just burned 2.9 million tokens. These are the 2% buyer fees that we charge per transaction. Most of it was generated since the official public test. The total supply of the OMI token was shrunk by 2.9 million. This is good, but on the other side, 2.9 million OMI is like what? Like $1.2K or so. That is obviously not like a huge amount of dollars, but on the other hand, in a couple of hours, if it just continues that way, if people can bypass fees, like the seller fee or something like that, right? Like the cash out fee, I mean, if that is the case, then this is very, very good because it incentivizes people to use OMI instead of gems. You can also, using ECOMI, you can bypass the 30% fee that Apple has, which is also very, very nice. And yeah, so Dr. Profit posting here about the transaction. So I think this is very bullish, and I think this is why the price reacted in the way it reacted, because now you can say, okay, you have a removal from circulating supply, and now we will see in the next days and weeks to come how this ECOMI integration will, first of all, which other burn mechanics will come out, which other mechanics in general will come out, and at the same time, how many people will use this. I will also have to get something like this, right? So, and then also this one here, this news from Veve is also interesting. I mean, we have talked about this. To ensure the NYCC kickoff party remains accessible to the Veve fam, we've paused crafting for the gold and silver ticket collectible due to some gaming behaviors that could put it at risk. If you are a gold and silver logo holder who hasn't crafted your ticket yet, please submit a support ticket by the end of this week and we'll make sure you are taken care of. Stay tuned for details on the upcoming snapshot RSVP info for the party. And what is meant by this is a little bit like let's say not so detailed. What actually happened is people sold their Veve gold logo after crafting the gold ticket and then bought a new one, and then they crafted and then they sold it, and then they bought another one and crafted another ticket. So by just purchasing the gold logo back and forth, people were able to craft more and more of the gold tickets, and this would basically, I mean, we said it, I've even posted it, I've even asked my collectibles if it's true that this works, and he confirmed it, so they knew about it. This comes very late. Probably they enjoyed like the buyer and seller fees that were going back and forth, but now they're seeing like, just saying I did buy 4 more on the market for a premium only to see people get more for free. Make it make sense. Rant over. So Dr. Rolex bought them on secondary market. He could have just bought and crafted gold logos, obviously. You already knew this issue. Why did it take so long? Also, Omili even is like a little bit confused. I mean, well done. Yes, true. But also... yeah, I mean, this is the problem. If people are exploiting a functionality, you have to stop it immediately, fix it, and then reactivate it, right? I think from the beginning, it should have been one craft only. You can't sell your logo and craft again. And then we would also know how many logos are actually in circulation, right? So that is, yeah. I mean, it's probably some people that are watching the logos, they know more or less how many logos are actually in circulation. But yeah, so far I think it's not too many. I hope that more than half of the logos is already in circulation, because I want to see the point where the gold logo is actually only accessible on secondary market. This would be interesting. and they can't give it out anymore to anyone. That would be interesting, right? Yeah, but overall, I think that's it. One thing that I saw was very cool, like this 3D style screensaver. If we could get something like this to permaflex with your Veve collectible, for example, this would actually be very bullish, right? Because then, first of all, other people will ask what it is. Secondly, you have a reason, you have something where you can display your favorite collectible. If they could integrate that in a meaningful way, that you actually need to own this to be able to display this or so, that they have functionality like this that you can launch from the Veve app, this would be really cool, right? So I would definitely use that. I would probably put my golden Iron Man as background, like the golden Iron Man, and then like I would never sell it then. that not even in a bull run probably, but we will see. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, what do you think, guys? Let me know. What do you think? We have a little bit of time. We can do some discussion, some Q&A, whatever. Here, because I went through I didn't do all the charting. Only 20 to 30 logos left to give out. Wow, that low. I thought it would be like 100 still left over or something like that. But that's crazy. The question is how many logos are unredeemed still, like still available as a code. Yeah, and it's going for 5K on the market. So if there's a dilution of 20 to 30 more, the price will not come down significantly. So yeah, I mean that's some premium collectible though, like $5,000. That's, what is that, 2 ETH? More than 2 ETH in a bear market. That's probably like in the bull market, and if there's more rewards and functionalities coming for the gold logo holders, that thing is going to be worth a lot probably. What do you think about Sol? Let's look at Solana. Solana. Solana on Coinbase. What do you think about it? I mean, I think there was a better chart. Let me see if Binance is the one where I drew in stuff. Not really. Bitstamp. Oh yeah, there it is. So what do I think? I think it's consolidating since a long time together with the rest of the price, and Solana is a good project. It's backed by a lot of companies and big institutions and so on. It has a huge like meme trading volume on it. They are bringing out the Solana phone. I think it's going to be shipped. Many people are going to buy the new Solana phone because they're speculating on more airdrops. I think it was like a $99 pre-sale or something like that. They are also bringing out there is one project on it that brings out the gaming device. I think it will be hyped, and if the trend continues like this and we go with Bitcoin, like Bitcoin breaks out, I think next stop for Solana would be the $300. That would be the next stop. This is not the end of the run probably, but that would be the next one. Yeah, so I'm bullish on Solana, but I also think that other coins can do better multiples, right? So it depends on your portfolio strategy. Look at the OMI volume, like on a daily or like on a 4-hourly. Yeah, on a 4-hourly we can see it, like how it unfolded. It's funny because it started out here, came up, and then boom, right? It kind of exploded. Like there was a massive buy probably that led to this pump, and then immediately triggered all the sales that were probably listed at higher levels. And now, now we are correcting. I mean, what would be reasonable for OMI would be to retest here, something like that, or retest here, right? And then hopefully continue its move to the upside. What you don't want to see, but we have seen that a lot, is that you just come down in a matter of like hours and just sit at all-time lows again, right? That this is only like a small pump and dump. That's something you don't want to see. You want to see people buying ECOMI, demanding ECOMI to be able to purchase collectibles, right? And also that this volume goes higher, right? I mean, if you go on a weekly, you see that the volume isn't really that high compared to before, right? Compared to when we were here. So you see this volume is decreasing and we're waiting. So this whale here is still, we are waiting for the whales to step in and make their move. And they didn't. So the volume is looking nice on a 4-hourly, but on a weekly scale, not yet. Not enough volume. So we need... Also, ECOMI needs the bull run to continue. Otherwise, it will not do well, even with all the fundamentals. But we have the OMI to NFT now publicly available. This here, right? This publicly available. Now the burns also are starting. Now these needs to be adopted now. It needs to intensify, right? For OMI to do well. But we're getting there. It seems that we're getting there. Yeah, let's hope that we continue in that manner. If you look at a monthly for ECOMI and you just get rid of the lines, it's kind of interesting because you are. Let me stretch this out a little bit. You can see that. That it was one big downtrend. It has not reversed yet. So the reversal on the high time frames is important. You also see that there was a lot of volume here, and then it just went away. So and on the other side, like stuff like RSI is just completely oversold since ever. So you really want to see a development on a monthly chart that goes in the other direction now, based on the facts. Krikor Halwaji says, do you think BTC can go below 58k? Let's see, what would that be? Below 58k, that would be, it wouldn't be good, but it's possible, and it wouldn't end the bull run. I think it shouldn't go below 57, right? I mean, if we were to come back to 58k and then go up, it would look like this. It wouldn't put in any lower low or something like that. Technically we can come all the way down here, turn around, we still have a higher high here. I don't see why it couldn't. I don't see why it couldn't. It also wouldn't. I mean, all the bears would come out and so on, but I don't see why it couldn't. It depends on how this whole situation here develops. 58k is not for me, it's not an invalidation point, because what you ultimately want to see is like this, right? And then you have higher highs here, higher lows and higher highs here, and then you break out. This would be November election time if it would go like this. So yeah, let's see. What do you think about the partner statue? I think it's a grail on Veve, even though it has higher circulation. But keep in mind that there are some accounts that are holding a ton of these, and it will be harder to sell them at high prices than very scarce collectibles that are sought after. So for example, if you compare that like to a Miles Morales, where there are only 249 total, because one got burned, then obviously a Miles Morales will be way harder to get and probably achieve way higher prices. But I think the partner statue is very iconic for this Disney Golden Moments time. So a lot of people see the partner statue in line with Todd Batman and with the Miles Morales and so on as a Grail on Veve, with MC1 comic and so on. So it comes down to your preference of. I would look at Stacker, and if you're looking at it from an investment perspective, and look at where you have a collectible that has a scarce amount, it has a high status, reputation, and so on, and it doesn't have owners that are possessing a high amount of or a large amount of circulating supply. So what you don't want to see is like that someone has 30% of the entire circulating supply, right? But then again, it's very intransparent, and probably also these are going to pump. So yeah, that is it. That is my opinion. If you are a collector, it only comes down to your your personal preference. But anyways, guys, are you buying more OMI after all these news? I will decide on a technical basis, and I want to see a turnaround here first, right? In the sense of like something like reclaiming and something like, so for example, there is a very simple thing for me. Like, you want to have higher lows and higher highs. And what I see here is lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, right? So technically, yes, here you have a little bit of a higher high, but I also want to see a higher low, and like something like that you can say, okay, now we are in an uptrend that is not short-lived, right? Now we're trending upwards. And as long as I don't see this, there's no reason to buy, because if this turns around and just goes on like this, I can still wait, right? Because let's just say I buy here on a hunch, or even it comes down, I buy here on a hunch, and it goes down lower, right? And then from here it makes higher lows, and I see my uptrend, and I buy here on this confirmation. It's the same as if I would catch the falling knife, right? There's no reason to do that. And since I'm doing that since a long time already, that I'm just looking at the charts and I'm like, nah, right? I will have a good entry no matter what, even though I could technically wait until I see this reclaiming this and buy it, and I would still buy at these levels up here, right? So there's really no reason to buy this yet, right? Yeah, so this is only me, right? I mean, there could also be like, I mean, technically there could be something happening, mega pump to the moon, but I've rarely seen that, right? Taken off like this. Usually you have some development where you see, okay, now from a technical standpoint you enter an uptrend, there are signs of reversal, you break structure, you get more volume, the news are good, the sentiment is increasing, this is where I buy, right? Yeah, so for me, not yet. But I like that ECOMI is going up, don't get me wrong. I am not an ECOMI bear in general. I like that this is green, right? I like that we are up in a couple of hours, 30%. Can you analyze coin, please? Coin what? What coin? Coin the coin? Let's see. Coinbase? As like the Coinbase stock? You have to specify what you mean. Oh, or did YouTube cut out the ticker of your comment or something like that? Yeah. Of course, I'm happy to look at stuff. Let me know, right? I mean, there's also Solana and stuff like that. Solana is really unfazed by what is happening in the world. But you have to specify which coin. Or even like put some spaces in there or whatever, because YouTube filters out tickers sometimes. Or write it completely. Is there something that is called coin? coin. I mean, everything is coin. I can see what you mean, but yeah. Coinbase stock. Okay, Coinbase stock. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's pull it up. Coinbase Global Inc. on Nasdaq. Let's see. Is this really the whole history? Since 20, yeah, okay, it's the whole history apparently. I would say that Coinbase has similarities to Bitcoin. I'm trying to make sense of what I see here. I mean, it has similarity to the Bitcoin chart from the standpoint of having this massive turnaround. The only thing that I don't see, as with Bitcoin, is like it didn't really close this line for a cup, right? So what sticks out to me for Coinbase stock is this. So you have a year-long uptrend, right here, a lot of confluence, and also here, and it's broken and bearishly retesting, right? This uptrend seems to be broken, and so it bounced, fell through, came up, and now is bearishly retesting. So I don't particularly like this. I really don't like this. And do we have something like a falling channel here? I mean, it's not clean, like a rising channel, sorry. It's not clean. Can we see something bullish here? Let's also invert the chart. I mean, if this was a bullish chart, right? This is the inverted Coinbase chart. You see it even better. It looks like our altcoin breakout, right? So you come up, bam, you retest, and for our altcoins, this would be like, look like this, right? Come up all the way here. So could this be the case for Coinbase? I don't know. So this is just what I see in the chart, right? Obviously, for a stock, you also need a fundamental analysis. How are the profit margins and so on? How is their revenue growth? What are their business models? I mean, on the other side, you have to say that all of their ETFs are like all the ETFs using them as custodian, right? But yeah, for Coinbase stock, also that you come from here and then you have this lower high, and then right, will you form something bigger, maybe like a bigger structure where you go like this, compress, and boom, breakout? I mean, this also could be short-lived. You come back up, you form like an ascending triangle where you only come down like here and go. There's so many possibilities, but you wanted an answer to this, and I say I see a trend that has been active for over a year and it's broken, right? And I don't like this. This overall, this is what I see. Yeah. Whereas here you had some like an inverse head and shoulder or something like that, right? Where you have a shoulder, head, another shoulder, breakout, and then you completed your breakout. You have probably hit. So this is the non-logarithmic version. Yeah. So you see it here, like left shoulder, head, right shoulder, big breakout, the end of the move, and now you have your reversal here. Yeah. Actually, let's look at it in the non-logarithmic just to be sure that we don't miss anything. Let's keep this. Let's get rid of this just to be unbiased. Okay, so what you could argue is that you come down, like you have this inverse head and shoulders. You broke out. You have the 1, 2. Nah, is that the 3 is so short? It's not really. You break out. You complete your move. Actually, you complete your move, and now you're maybe back testing here from a higher low. So okay, I would say that if you are like having Coinbase stock at the moment, right? Before you run and sell everything, what could be interesting to see is whether you backtest on support and go from here, and you have like a bigger uptrend here, right? This could be a thing. Yeah, but all in all, also here you see like you have kind of this, yeah, it's almost parabolic here, right? On the non-logarithmic, from the returns perspective, you can't really draw a trend here, right? I mean, yeah, I would say it's probably something like this, right? So you want to see so on the non-logarithmic, the logarithmic tells you the returns, like how the returns are developing, right? But you want to see maybe this, if this comes back to the trend line, you want to see a bounce. So this is, if this loses this trend, then we are wrecked, right, on the Coinbase stock. So since we have already lost almost all the gains since this big breakout, I would see if this reacts, right? And this can take a while. This is a weekly chart. Yeah, but so far so good. Coinbase stock, there you go. I'm personally not so much in stocks anymore because they're just too slow and too little returns. But they could be good for like dividend strategy or whatever is good. GM all, hey, PH Walrus King, what's going on? And also Pro Legend is the sub boys bleeding this week. Yeah, let's see how we're doing. We're sitting at the support. Yeah, we're undecided here where to go. The world is waiting for an answer, right? This is Bitcoin again. Also here for Bitcoin, right? Also for Bitcoin, we have a trend break, right? In this flag. Same thing, right? Trend, nice, goes up. You expect breakout, lost the trend, right? So we can go lower here. If we lose this, next stop, this level. Next stop, 58K, right? So if we lose the support here for good. But anyways, thank you for joining. Smash up the like button. Don't forget the like. And Creecor just became just sub to the channel. So welcome Creecor to the fam. Good to see you. And make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I see you in the next live stream. Very likely, I don't know, tomorrow's public holiday, but I will see. Maybe a little bit later the stream then.